a playlist original.
Hey everyone, Jeff here from Films at Home. Thanks for coming back to the channel, whether you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on your favorite podcast apps. I appreciate the support. Now, this is a pretty special episode because I've never done this in 5 years of creating content. This person has never appeared on any video or any podcast or anything, and that's my wife. So today's episode is going to be a sit-down conversation between the two of us. We took some questions on social media and had some people, sending questions, and we answered those. Talk a lot about just like the dynamic, being the wife of a YouTuber and a crazy collector like me. So I think you guys will find it funny. It's a little bit outside the norm of like my regular podcast interviews. We definitely get a little bit goofy, but I mean, that's how we are. So I think you'll really like it. You'll find it funny. I think you'll have a good time listening to it, and you'll probably learn a little bit about me as well. So sit back, relax, enjoy the episode. No outro on this one, so I won't catch you guys at the end. My wife handles that for us at the end of the episode. So if you enjoy it, make sure you leave a 5-star review and subscribe on YouTube or follow along on your podcast apps. But here we go. Let's jump right into it. We're on. We're live.
I'm here.
This is my wife. She said I can't do the Borat, my wife, but I'm going to do it anyway.
You did it anyway.
Because it is funny. I don't care what she says. And so, how do I introduce you? I want you to introduce yourself and tell them what you do. What do you do? What are you all about?
How about let's start with my name.
Yeah, what's your name?
My name's Coriana.
Got that?
Fun. I'm a stay-at-home mom.
You need to speak up. This is a podcast,
stay-at-home
not a
mom.
library.
I was a teacher. I have a master's degree. I'm more educated than this man, and I raise his children.
All facts. You're the most educated person in our entire family.
Yeah, I'll fight your brother for it, but yes.
Oh, that's right. Well,
I got it first.
You got it first. So you've been the most educated for longer, so you are more educated. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So I have what I did for this.
Long-time listener, big-time fan.
No, it'd be long-time listener, first-time caller is what you're supposed to say. But we're not doing a call-in show. What I did for this, I asked people to ask questions. And these are going to be questions for you. I'm going to ask you, and I want your actual response.
We're just diving right into it.
We're going to dive right into it. This is what we're going to do. Because I got lots of questions. I posted on Instagram. I got lots of people submitted questions.
I have one thing to say, though.
What are you going to say first?
You didn't say you were supposed to say, thanks for being on the show. And I was going to say, it's great to finally meet you. Are you trying? That was the joke. I remember at dinner I said I have a joke.
You're trying to shoehorn in a joke.
That was my joke.
You can't make jokes based on what somebody else might say because then they don't say it and then it
ruins it. I know.
Oh boy.
All right, let's just go for it.
First time on the mic, huh?
No, actually, remember I did those TikToks.
Oh, you did do TikToks. That's right.
You should check them out. They're pretty funny.
She did do TikToks.
He'll link them somewhere.
Well, my TikTok's always linked, rookie. But if you go to the TikTok, there are videos of you trying to explain. Well, what did we do?
No, you picked a movie, and I had to.
Yeah, you had to describe it to the camera.
You showed it to me, and I had to describe the movie. And then
people had to guess based on your insane description what movie you were talking about. Because what's special about you?
Lots of things.
Okay.
I have ADD. And it's a learning disability, and so
every time she watches a movie, she's watching it for the first time, no matter if she's seen it 100 times or 5.
And let's just say it's different for everybody.
It's different for everybody.
But for me, I have a bad memory.
You don't remember anything you watch.
Span.
No, you do remember.
I need keywords
or quotes or Like, you'll remember Austin Powers 20 years after you've watched it, but you won't remember the movie we saw last week. It's because you've probably seen us. If you see a movie once,
it's gone.
It's gone. But you've probably watched Austin Powers 50 times, so that one sticks with you. It's just repetition is all it is.
Sure. All right.
All right, I have questions. Right here. Kilinkus. Kilinkus is the username. My girlfriend says my collection takes up too much space. How do I deal with that?
How does he deal with that?
And probably, like, how about some advice as to, like, maybe some organizational advice, but also...
From the girl with ADD.
This is all you're doing. You help me organize.
I would just say find clever ways to store the movies and be able to compromise, because that was one thing I said. I didn't want a bunch of movies in the living room. I didn't want all that clutter. I didn't want surround sound in the living room.
Fair.
Because I didn't want wires everywhere. So you obviously are fortunate enough to have the space to put everything everywhere, but cabinets help and storage helps, and finding the right storage options.
Like this cabinet.
This cabinet right here.
That cabinet closes and locks, and you could even get better ones that look better than that. And you could put that in a living room.
That would never go in my living room, but yes.
Okay, I guess you can't put it in the living room, but you could put it somewhere, and it would look okay.
Down here, and it looks okay.
Okay, well, this guy's asking for help. Maybe he doesn't have a basement. I just said,
okay, so find clever storage spaces.
So what's a clever storage? Because I thought that was clever, so like I'm off base.
Something that can double as DVD or Blu-ray storage. Like those cubes that we have for the toys. You can put bins in there, and you can hide movies in there. But if he's a collector, he probably likes to have them out and displayed. So then it's finding a happy medium. Like the posters that we had in our old hallway were tasteful and classic, and I was okay with that.
Right. I didn't overdo it.
And we had the Singing in the Rain posters in the bathroom. Like, it has to be something that you both enjoy.
Yeah. If it's going to be in a
common space. Yeah.
Okay. So this person says,
they don't have a name.
DP Skip Allen. How does your wife handle you being a YouTube celebrity? Which I'm going to talk about that for a second, because I don't believe that. Father and husband. First of all, before you even start, I don't think I'm a YouTube celebrity. I know that's not even a big deal. I don't think I am.
Except for our neighbor who thinks you're a big deal.
Except for our 10-year-old neighbor who thinks that, and he's going to watch this video, and yeah, I am a celebrity.
In his eyes.
But I've never run into somebody
who's been like, hey, wow,
right.
Jeff from Films at Home. Even all the times we went to Bull Moose, I was like, right. Someone's going to recognize you.
I figure every time I go into a Best Buy or I walk through...
So you're not that popular.
This is what I mean. I don't feel the celebrity moment, which I'm dreading to a certain degree because it does scare me.
Is when I get to tell people that you do this?
No, is when I get recognized by somebody. I don't know who they are, and somebody comes up to me and goes, I know you, and I don't know them. That's like the weird celebrity thing, because nobody would ever come up to you and say, I know you and you don't know me, because there's no reason to.
Maybe former students.
But you know them.
Maybe not at the moment.
Okay, but you
yes,
knew them.
I knew them.
This would be somebody I've never met in my life who comes up to me and says, I know you, and I know nothing about them. That's like the celebrity.
You just say, hey, thanks, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, what was the question?
They want to know how you handle me doing all of this stuff. Father, husband, YouTube. How am I doing?
Good.
There was a little bit of a smile there.
No, it's just you work very hard. And that's what I think people don't see, is how often you're working. You're doing things. You're hustling. You're moving.
I have a day job too.
You have a day job. So, after hours, you're doing the YouTube stuff and it takes up a lot of time, but you do a good job at balancing.
I do still do a good... Well, I was going to say, it used to be after hours, like, okay, 5 o'clock, I can sign off. Now it's after hours, which is 5
after
o'clock.
Dad.
after dad hours, which
right.
has limited the amount of time. So I still do okay?
Yeah.
I still balance okay?
As long as you remember to put your phone away at the table sometimes.
It's key. Put your phone away at the table, guys. Dingo Boy 2 wants to know what your favorite movies are. Movie or movies, you give us a couple.
I thought about this. I thought hard about this because I knew it might come up.
Go.
Okay, so I'd say my all-time, there are two different types. It's movies I like to watch by myself.
Here we go, folks.
Movies I have to watch by myself, and movies I watch with you. Movies I watch with you, I'd say anything Quentin Tarantino is my favorite to watch with you.
That's a separate question. What are your favorite movies?
Love Actually.
Is your favorite movie of all time?
Yeah, I think so. Am I forgetting anything else? Well, I love...
I'm asking you.
I love Miss Congeniality. Anytime that's on, that's a great one. I like to quote that one.
Mm-hmm.
Love Actually, though, I would say is probably my favorite.
Love Actually.
Yeah.
Not just,
it's just what?
Not just at Christmas time.
Not just at Christmas.
We're just gonna
say. But I only watched it at Christmas time.
Oh, so is it your favorite movie if you only watch it 1 month a year? I don't know. You can stick with it. If that's it, that's it.
There's nothing that's
But it's hard to pick a seasonal holiday movie as your favorite movie because it's seasonal. It's your favorite movie right now because it's December 9th and you're in the Christmas mood.
True.
That's what I'm feeling here. I'm feeling Christmas spirit coming out of you and choosing Love Actually. And I don't know if that's actually your...
But you know that's pretty much up there. Mamma Mia, great. Across the Universe, great.
See, there you go. You don't have to pick one. He said,
musicals, I guess I would say,
What are your favorite movies? Grease?
Oh, yeah. Duh. Grease.
Yeah, musicals.
I could do that whole movie from start to finish.
You like Rent? I hate Rent.
Shout out Rent.
Mamma Mia, music. Yeah, mostly musicals.
Yeah.
Although we haven't seen the new West Side Story. So it's like...
I know, and I want to see it.
It's like freaking 6...
Every time we go to watch it, he's like, it's like 3 hours long.
Well, it is like 3 hours long. It's like 6 hours long. So when...
Hamilton, so good.
Yeah. But we don't have 3 hours at the end of the night.
I know, we don't. I know.
The kid goes to bed at 7:30.
I know.
We don't have 3 hours.
Nap time is not 3 hours long.
Right. So 3 hour movie, tough. We need those 90-minute movies. So anybody who's got a good 90-minute musical, that's what we're looking for here.
Oh, wait a minute. Time out.
What?
Also love Singing in the Rain, like those classic dance movies.
What's the one you were just watching the other day?
White Christmas.
White Christmas, Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn is...
Which is...
Problematic.
Has a few scenes, but product
Learn
of its time.
from it.
Product of its time. This guy's name is Insulate. Like insulation, but just insulate.
Mm-hmm.
How do you say that? Insulate?
Insulate.
Insulate. That's a username. That's a username that's hard to get. Think about how many insulation companies out there want the username Insulate.
Well, he probably got it first.
So good for this person. What do you think of my movie collection? Because, okay, so this probably is a man, says, mine hates it, referring to his wife. His wife hates his movie collection. What do you think of it? Honestly, I asked you this the other day, and this is what gave me the idea to do this, because I wanted you to answer this.
What did I say the other day?
I don't think you actually answered it.
What do I think about it?
What do you honestly think about... Oh, and then I have a follow-up question. Okay. But what do you honestly think about it? Honestly.
Honestly.
You're not going to hurt me because it's not going anywhere.
There's no hurt feeling.
It's not going anywhere, so you can't... Go ahead.
I'm not going anywhere. So, I don't hate it. I think it's really cool. I like that you have a passion and a hobby, which I don't have, so that's good on you.
Maybe podcasting.
I don't have the voice for it.
You got to speak up, though.
I don't have the voice for it.
You don't have to yell, though.
I like what you're doing now, where you're like fine-tuning what you have. I think that's important because I know how overwhelmed you get when it's just like you've got piles and stacks that you haven't put away because there's no place. And so I like what you're doing now.
Curating.
Yeah.
I've been talking about that on every podcast episode with people. I did a whole video.
Yeah.
Yes, that part is super helpful.
Yeah. I think it's impressive.
It's impressive.
It's impressive.
Put it on a t-shirt.
It's
impressive.
What was your follow-up question?
So my follow-up question was honest. This is what I asked you the other day. I said, if you So we have to give background, but we've been dating since high school when we were 17.
13 years almost.
13 years, married for almost 4 now in March. So, but you knew me. I didn't start collecting movie. I didn't really have a collection of anything.
Your first movie was that Denzel Washington movie.
Training Day.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a collection of anything. I did baseball cards when I was younger, and then when I was a teenager, I stopped, and I hadn't done that. So when you met me and got to know me, I had nothing. And then when I was like, what, 21, 22-ish, and I got a first real job and I had like big boy money, is when I bought that surround sound system that had a Blu-ray player, and then I started buying movies. So, this is my question. If I owned this house, I was a single guy, and I had this house, and you walk, and okay, you're upstairs, and it's all good. And then I say, well, this is like I have to be like, hold on, I have to show you something, and this is the big test. And I brought you down into this room today, being 30 years old.
Yeah.
You're looking for somebody who you're going to settle down with. You come down here. What's the reaction?
I think I'd be impressed.
You think you'd be impressed?
I wish the lightsaber was on. I just thought of that.
You wish it was on right now?
It'd be cool to do during your thing. Anyway, I'd be impressed because I would say if the upstairs looks like it does.
Well, that's only be.
if the upstairs looked like it wasn't.
It was decent.
Right. And I came down here to a dedicated space that had, I would say, wow, that's cool. You're passionate about movies. You must really enjoy that. I wouldn't think it was a red flag because it's not all over the house. It's not over the top.
Well, that's where I have to ask myself, if it wasn't for you,
would it be all over the house? would there be a 6-foot Michael Myers in the living room? Yes.
Probably, yeah. So then that would be
that's a red flag.
What's the red flag, though? Is it that I have a he's not real. I don't have a Ted Bundy 6 foot in the living room. I have a Michael Myers. He's not a real serial killer.
I think maybe that you're just wicked obsessed with it.
So you have to just sort of tone down.
It has to be like a part of your person. Like you say this often. It has to be a part of your personality, but not your whole personality.
Which, that's a good point, because everybody who, this goes back to people know me from this, and they know me from YouTube and a podcast, and they know me in 10-minute snippets at a time, or an hour for podcasts. Like that, yes, I don't just wake up and watch movies for 10 hours, make YouTube videos, and then go to sleep.
Right. Like there are many other things that you do.
I work. I like to fish. I play basketball.
Watch out, guys.
I watch all my Boston sports. If you can't, this is what you can't see. In front of me is all sports cards and memorabilia. You see the movies behind me. So yeah, it's a part, but it is not the whole.
The whole, right.
That's good advice. So don't let it
take over your entire personality. Nobody wants to sit and talk to you about
movies for 8 hours a day.
Or if someone's sitting with you and you're talking to them about movies for 8 hours a day, they're probably bored out of their mind.
Unless they're that type of person.
But I would say very unlikely.
I would say that's a unicorn.
It's very unlikely.
So yeah, you just have to have more to yourself than just, you can't be your collection. Your collection should be a reflection of you.
Right.
But you can't become the collection.
Correct.
I like it. D. Simpson's head. So this is just this guy's head, not the rest of his body.
Sure.
He has an Instagram account for the rest of his body.
Very impressive.
He said, how do you keep his greedy 4K loving fingers in line with the family budget? Are you an angel?
Budget questions, I should talk to my accountant.
I'm the accountant. The reason I get away with it is because I handle all the money. I have to keep myself in check. You're
good at it.
Which I think
because every time you buy something, you justify it by doing something else. Usually selling something or.
I try to now. Yeah. Yes, I try to sell some movies so I can buy some movies.
Get the one that you really want.
Sell cards so I can buy a different card.
You're always hustling.
Well, I try to just use the hobby I try to self-fund it, which is, I think, an important tip. Like if you want to buy an expensive box set and it's $100, try to look for $100 worth of stuff that you can sell that you just don't care about as much as this box set. And then maybe in 2 years you don't care about the box set and you sell that for $80 and buy something else. But yeah, but I do. I have to. It's hard to keep yourself in check.
But you keep it in your PayPal money, and that's how you use.
Well, don't let the IRS hear this.
What?
No, I'm kidding. I track
you
it
pay
all.
so many taxes.
I know. I track it all. Yes. But yeah, I keep like a separate.
It's never like encroached on our
I keep a separate account.
Budget,
and yes, if I sell stuff and the money ends up in PayPal, I pay my taxes. IRS don't come for me. I pay more than enough in taxes. Trust me. But yeah, if I have money, if I sold a couple $100 on like Whatnot, which I've been doing, then I use that money to buy something else if I want to. So. Let's see. What else?
I'm really hoping I get one question from.
No, this is a good one. Okay. I have a good one. This is from Elliot Cohen. You don't know him, but I do.
Okay.
I interviewed him on the podcast before. He's over in the UK. Good YouTube channel. Boutique Blu-rays with Elliot Cohen.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's got a good channel. He knows way more about like foreign stuff and like that type of like boutique movie than I do. So he asked, do you watch movies together often, or do your tastes differ on film and TV?
TV, we do everything together, basically.
Typically, unless
Except
you're watching.
Except for I'm watching The Crown right now.
If you're watching bullshit like the Kardashians, I don't watch that.
That's my guilty pleasure.
Yes, I'm not watching it.
I know.
I'm not watching Harry and I'm not watching Harry and Meghan or the Kardashians. I'm not doing it.
I do it when you play video games.
Right. I'm not doing that stuff. Other than that, yes, we pretty much watch everything together.
Right, but what was the other part of the question?
Well, movies too. Do we watch movies together?
Yes and no.
Right. Yes and no.
You might not believe this, but I have a extreme of horror movies. However, there's a little, like, what do you call it, caveat?
Well, you have like this
because I don't mind Halloween. I don't mind
you don't mind the slasher movies.
The slasher movies, right. It's the spooky stuff.
It's not the gore and the killing that bothers you.
It's what you don't see.
That turns off some people, that it's just too much.
No, it's what you
Unless
don't
they're killing kids now. Which is
that's a big no.
Now a new thing that's too much. That's newer.
That is newer after having
Once you have a kid, it's harder to watch Pennywise bite off George's arm.
Or the opening scene in Halloween.
Oh, in the new Halloween movie. Don't spoil it.
I won't spoil it.
But yes. Yeah. No, it's...
But your mom laughed at it, and I was like, how can you laugh at that?
You know what? She's on a different level.
She's not, She's not
she doesn't have young kids
mom anymore. Yeah.
She doesn't laugh when the 30-year-old guy gets killed.
Right.
She finds that disturbing. Right. But the kids can get killed. She laughs at that.
So, I mean, that's the only... I don't like spooky movies. Let me see your other phone right there. So when I do watch a movie with Jeff and I'm trying to be good about it, I like to do this thing where I sit like this and I flip the phone like this.
Please demonstrate.
You guys can't see it you can't hear it see it on the podcast, but I take the phone and I tilt it so that I can look in the phone screen and it reflects upside down off the TV.
Basically, she's got this weird... It could be a phone, it could be a mirror.
But that doesn't... It's like a weird brain thing, I think.
If you flip the image upside down or like view it through another panel, like a mirror or
it makes it less
phone,
scary.
It makes it less scary. You're putting like a barrier between you and the screen.
Exactly. My brain has to really think about it.
Yeah. So there's primary... 99% of the time, if I pick a movie to watch, it's going to be a horror movie because that's my thing. But there is this like Venn diagram of my horror.
I could draw one if you want.
And your horror. And in the middle is basically slashers or like old school stuff.
The old school stuff doesn't bother me.
Like you weren't bothered.
Would you call Prometheus a horror movie?
It's sci-fi.
I like that movie.
Sci-fi horror, yeah, you do okay with the sci-fi horror. Alien, Predator, like that type of stuff doesn't bother you either. The sci-fi horror is
It's the things you can't see. It's the spooky
It's paranormal.
Yeah.
It's the ghosts, it's the demons, the curses, it's the paranormal stuff. So there's this middle ground where it's anything that's old. Like you watched Suspiria, and you didn't have a problem. And see, she doesn't remember watching it. We watched
Suspiria
it.
We
watched it like We watched it like.
Can you remember which one it is?
4 weeks ago, the ballet one.
Oh yes, right. However, I think if I watched the new one,
you might be scared.
I'd be scared.
Yeah.
Right.
But we watched that. You watched The House of the Devil, which even though it's a newer movie, has an old vibe. Do you remember this one?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
So
I liked the house. It was beautiful.
Right. So there's like, if it's older, if it's a slasher, but you won't touch Paranormal Activity, you won't touch
the 10-foot pole,
The Conjuring, you won't touch.
But I've seen them all. Just so you know, let's be clear.
You are a trooper, and you've seen most of them.
I have extreme anxiety.
You saw Hereditary.
Should I tell the Hereditary? Was it the Hereditary or the Midsummer story?
No, it was Hereditary. You liked Midsummer.
I liked.
You had no problem with Midsummer because Midsummer's not that scary,
and it takes
it's bright.
place during the day.
Right, Midsummer you were fine. Hereditary
not during the day, but it's bright. Yeah.
You still didn't do well with Hereditary when we watched it at home.
No, what was the one that we went to the movies?
Yes, it was Hereditary.
Oh.
We saw Hereditary on opening night.
Oh.
Because I said, I don't want to know what this movie's about. I'm hearing a ton of buzz. This is before kids, so we could just
go to the movies.
Go to the movies whenever we wanted to, and we went opening night on a Friday. Go ahead. Yeah, you can tell them what you tried to do.
So we went out to dinner first, and I was like, I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna get some drinks so that I can like loosen up. And it did, and we went to the movie theater, and you could get drinks at the movies, and I brought a beer in, I think.
And the beers they used to give back in 2018, AMC. If you have an AMC near you, they have the bars now.
Yeah.
And now you get like this.
Yeah.
When they first opened back in like
huge cup.
2016, it was like this. It was like literally like this, full of beer. I'm holding up like a 32-ounce cup.
40 ounce.
It was a massive cup of beer.
So I get that, and I'm drinking that throughout the whole movie. I'm like, this movie's not too terrible. A little spooky. She comes on the ceiling. I'm like, not great. In the last 15 minutes of the movie.
Well, she's on the ceiling in the last 15 minutes. That's when it just goes batshit.
My buzz had totally worn off. It didn't work, and I was horrified.
Yeah.
And I was never been so scared in my life because it was just not what I was expecting. Not what I was expecting. It was terrifying.
Yeah. Drinking
did not help.
It doesn't help for slow burn horror movies that give you most of the chaos in the last 15 minutes.
Right, and I wasn't thinking that. I didn't know what it was going to be like. Yeah.
You were just kind of coming off the buzz too, which might even be worse because like you were not even you hadn't even really settled in yet. You were just kind of like, oh, I'm feeling this now. It was like the anesthesia was wearing off.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And exactly. that was bananas though in that movie theater opening night. People were literally people were screaming,
gasping, like all the.
It was so good though.
It was good. I liked seeing it with people.
I loved it.
Because it was fun. Like it was, some parts were funny. I laughed through some parts. Like.
But I think when we watched it at home, then you could drink throughout the whole thing.
Did I? I don't remember.
I don't remember, but that's a pro tip.
Yeah.
If you're gonna watch
if you're feeling a little anxious, give yourself a little.
Backload the drinks on the second half of Hereditary.
Yes.
Because the first half you don't need them. Well, here's following up. What else was I gonna say? Movies. So the other thing we didn't touch on this, but
are you done with the questions?
No.
Okay.
No, I have more. But on that question of do we watch stuff together?
Oh.
We usually switch off.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
So if I pick The House of the Devil, which we watched the other night, then you would get the next pick, and we would watch. What did we watch? We watched Nick Kroll's stand-up on Netflix.
Yeah, I could take it or leave it.
It was just okay.
It was just okay.
But that was and so like we'll go like Austin Powers, and then we'll go like Suspiria,
right?
And then we'll go West Side Story at some point, and then we'll pop in.
But that's a mutual, so it's not like.
But it's your pick. I would not have picked it.
This man, we go to see the Nutcracker. We leave. You're like, I'm a theater guy now. I want to see all the musicals. I'm a theater guy.
I'm a theater guy.
So don't sit there and tell me
I was a theater
that
guy.
West Side Story is not going to be your.
I don't know. But I was a theater guy for about 4 hours. Then I fell asleep and I forgot I was a theater guy. So I was a big theater guy for that night. But no, I wouldn't pick. But it's a pick, whether it's mutual or not. Like it's your pick. Yeah. You would pick West Side Story, and then I would go and pick VHS 94, which
was I wasn't gonna watch with you.
You half watched it.
I do half watch things sometimes because I want to be here and I kind of want to see it, but it also kind of scares me.
Like Barbarian. I watched Barbarian, and I was literally giving you a recap of it, and I think I rewound it at one point. I was watching it on the TV. That's the one with the Airbnb.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Boy, folks,
I'm not kidding.
This is what I mean.
I'm not kidding. This is not a joke.
I have to.
This is not a drill.
The Airbnb movie.
Yes, that was.
Maybe you just don't remember the titles of any movies because you do remember them when I give them the description.
I'm not good with titles. Even if I read a whole book, I don't remember the title.
Or the book. Sometimes.
Anyway.
Depends on how good the book is.
Right.
But yeah, that one you half watched, and then like that crazy stuff happens where it shifts like a third of the way through. And I was like, no, you gotta come down here. This is insane. But I watched Smile the other night, and I did that without you because I had a feeling. And then I even texted you halfway through, and I said, I'm really glad that you went out and I watched this by myself.
This shit is scary.
Yeah, you would have hated that because you hate. That's the other thing is you hate jump scares. You can do the scary, like the dread, the slow burn, the psychological. Yeah. You can't do a jump scare. And Smile was like jump scare central, like some of the best jump scares, like Haunting of Hill House jump scares. So yeah,
that one I did see. That one got me.
That one, I think that got everybody
in the world.
World got hit by that one. I got hit by it. M. Velez wants to know who asked who out.
We'll make it quick.
Who did it?
I'd like to hand this one to you.
I certainly didn't do it.
No.
I certainly did not. No, wasn't me.
We were 17 at the time.
Wasn't me.
And
it was you. That's the answer.
Junior prom was coming up and I didn't have a date. And that was a big deal to me. And
not a big deal to me.
Not a big deal to him. But we were in the same class.
The year before.
Kind of liked him, kind of didn't. And then I didn't have a date to junior prom. And I was like, I need a date to junior prom. This guy will definitely go with me.
But it wasn't that easy.
But you had a date already. And I had to say, excuse me, how about me instead?
Yeah.
And then it kind of went from there. We had to go and...
And I shaved my beard.
Mm-hmm. You didn't have a beard. He had a tiny little chin strap.
Well, it wasn't because I couldn't grow a beard. It was just because that was the style.
That was it. Tiny little chin strap.
Terrible.
Awful. Oh, God, awful.
Awful. But that was the last time I had a clean-shaven face was...
Junior prom, 2010.
April of 2010. That was the last time. I have not had a clean-shaven face since April of 2010.
So then, our first date was to the mall.
Literally to buy a tie
for the junior prom.
Yeah. And then that was
it. The rest was history.
That was it. She never left. Let's see.
I was a catch. Okay. I was captain of the cheer team. I was a catch.
Next question.
One of 3, but I was a catch.
All right. Injecto-weed. Okay, I like it. Do you think, this is for you, because they know my answer. Do you think physical media is dumb since you can just stream? This person said anything. We know you can't stream anything, but you can stream most. You can stream most things. That is a fair statement. You can stream most things. So, do you think it's dumb?
Stream for free or stream to or buy something?
Just assume you've signed up for the major streaming services. You got
that don't have the Grinch.
Say you sign up and you've got your Netflix, your Amazon, your Hulu, your Disney, your HBO. Mm-hmm. You have all that stuff. Even Shudder for horror movies. Do you think? And don't let my passion, and thoughts on this influence you. Would you ever buy a movie on your own if it wasn't for me, or would you just stream everything?
I would just stream everything if it wasn't for you.
I don't take them. That's fine.
I mean, but growing up, we did have movies around because, I mean...
A lot of people did, though.
Yeah.
Back then, when we were growing up, everybody had VHS tapes, everybody had DVDs, because that was your only option.
Right.
That was it. I mean, you could watch a movie on cable. It was like, it took like 3 years for movies to come out on TV. So...
I don't think I would be buying them myself unless it's a movie that I really liked.
Because you don't care about the way it looks or the way it sounds.
We just watched something the other day.
You're never going to watch a special feature on it. Well, you watch gag reels. That's the only thing. But you can get those on YouTube. Like, that's... No, I don't blame you. I mean, I would... There's parts of me that go back and forth thinking, do I need all this?
I did notice Elf, though, looked a lot better. I did
say
that to you. Like,
somebody asked another question about that. How often this is Clav Kid, how often does your wife join in for your 4K reviews? Which you don't ever join in for the video, but you watch them with me. And does her insight influence yours? Which I guess is the question. But it is true. You do notice. Like, when you've just watched Elf on TBS or whatever, and then we put that disc in, and it was like, whoa.
Right. But what I didn't notice was, like, you said, like, Top Gun looked really cool.
Maverick? The new one?
No, the old one, right? Did the old one get a 4K?
Yeah, we watched them both.
Right, and I was just like, yeah, it looks fine.
Because it was older.
I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know.
Well, it wasn't... You also hadn't just watched it. You didn't have the context of what it looked like before.
Right.
Which is the important part of all of this, I think. When you do one of these reviews, I don't know how anybody does a 4K review
without seeing not a 4K
and hasn't seen it somewhere else, because how do you know? Every movie in its own is an individual. So I can't say Top Gun looked super cool and that one looks super bad because Top Gun's better. Like, no, that movie might look 10 times as good as it did before. So you have to have the context. So that's probably why. But you do tend to notice.
Yeah, sometimes I'll say, like, oh, wow, this looks really good.
Yeah. So it does. No, but it does.
But it will.
But it does influence.
It doesn't influence you.
No, it does, because if you say that,
then that means people would know. People should notice. If the average Joe, and
that's what I'm trying to do, because not everybody. I'm in the 1% of people with speakers and like, for somebody who's just got a living room TV, they spent $1,000 on. Is it going to be worth it for them to buy this? Are they going to sit there like you and go, oh, wow, this looks pretty good?
Right.
That is really what I'm trying to do here.
At the end of the day,
At the end of the day, you could do these reviews and be like, all right, let me freeze frame and zoom in 100 times. And that one is slightly more orange than that. Like, you can get to that level, but I think that kind of sucks. So if the average person can't tell the difference. So it does influence me. It makes me feel like, okay, it's not just me going,
right. This looks good.
This looks good. Like, if you say it, okay, this should be good for everybody.
Yeah.
So, hey, you're a huge influence on me.
I better be.
You're a huge influence on me. All right. Yeetus Elitis. Big name here. Yeetus Elitis. Wants to know favorite movies from each genre. Now, that's a lot of genres. So I'm going to pick.
Can you give me? Yeah.
I'll give you the genres and you give me your favorite. Now, you've already talked about favorite movies. So we'll skip musicals because you're going to have 100 favorites there.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite sci-fi movie? And that's a loose, anything that's within that realm.
Sci-fi.
It could be fantasy too. Like I loop in like sci-fi fantasy. It could be like Lord of the Rings type deal, or it could be like Prometheus, like you said, like something in that world. Aliens, fantasy, whatever, monsters, that type of deal.
I don't want to say Harry Potter because it's a sellout answer.
Yeah, that is a sellout answer. If you say Harry Potter, I'm ending this recording.
I'm not saying that.
Because you don't even like Harry Potter is the other
really
thing. So
like
why would you say
Potter.
Harry Potter?
Because I'm trying to think of like what would fit into that I have seen.
Sorry, well that's why I'm. This is a challenge.
Why I need your help.
This is a challenge. Well, you said Prometheus.
I like that. Always sticks out to me because I do like the movie. I think it's a beautiful movie. Looking, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be my favorite because I feel like maybe I'm missing something.
I mean, when I think sci-fi, like I'd go into like Blade Runner. Blade Runner 2049. You could get into Aliens and Predator. You could get into Lord of the Rings and that type of realm. You know, I like it. There's a few Alien, not the Alien series, but there's some Alien movies I like that are more like sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
But Prometheus is a good answer.
I think that's a good answer.
That's the only we don't really watch a ton of that.
Right.
I tend to watch them by myself, and I know you don't really care about the comic book movies and stuff so much, so that sort of falls in there a little bit. But go with Prometheus. I'm shaking. How about your favorite comedy?
Oh, come on.
I know
really?
There's a big one for you, but come on, pick if you want to give a couple, give a couple. But I know this is your category.
All I want to watch
musicals,
is
rom-coms. But forget, I'm gonna get to rom-coms.
Oh, okay,
so go strictly comedies. Like
strictly comedy.
We'll get to rom-coms.
I mean, you almost have to go Billy Madison.
I knew it was gonna be an Adam Sandler movie. I knew it was gonna be Adam Sandler.
Yeah. I mean, I always watched it as a kid, and it just
Billy Madison.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I think it's hilarious. I think it just never is not funny.
So what about rom-com?
You know, it's up there too for me. Clueless. I love Clueless.
Yeah.
Do love myself with Clueless. That's a rom-com. Ish.
Yeah.
Coming of age.
Yeah.
Tale.
Not like a traditional. It's more coming of age.
A traditional rom-com.
Right. Like
I mean, we loved that movie for so long. What was it? Oh my god.
Which one?
Oh god, with Ryan Reynolds and Steve Carell.
Okay, so it's Ryan Gosling.
Steve Carell.
Crazy Stupid Love.
Crazy Stupid Love. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I would probably pick that one. Or I'd either pick that one.
Bros was good. Liked that. That was really good.
That was good. I like, oh my god, now I'm blanking on it.
This is hard.
The Big Sick was good with Kumail Nanjiani. Do you remember that one? His girlfriend has cancer.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a good one. I like Just Go With It, which is Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. Do you remember that one? And Brooklyn something, the model.
Oh yeah.
But that movie's actually pretty funny. I like Adam Sandler too.
What's the one with Paul Rudd and
This Is 40?
Yeah. Which gets older. It gets funnier as you get older.
Funnier as you get closer to 40.
Yeah.
For sure. Or once you have kids at least.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Those are good. There's one I'm just blanking on. Why do I feel like it starts with a Z? It's like recent. It's like within the last...
Have we seen it?
Yeah, within the last 4 or 5 years. I don't know. I'm blanking on it. I'll think about it. So what's your favorite action movie? Action movie. Shoot 'em up, car chases. You know what I mean. Fast and Furious.
Do I have to say it?
Yeah, say it. Yes, that's the whole point. You got to say it.
Well, because I always say that I want to watch Gone in 60 Seconds with you.
Yeah.
Because you've never seen that.
Not the new one.
Right. And that was the movie I watched all the time as a kid.
That's fair.
I don't remember much of it, but I just know it was cool to see. Action movies, though? That's... What's Django? Is that an action movie? I love that movie.
Django, that's... Where would I put that? I mean,
Pulp Fiction, those are my
Yeah, you like Tarantino movies.
I do, right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they definitely have... I mean, Django certainly has elements, and it's got a lot of dramatic scenes and dialogue, too. But it's hard to put Tarantino movies into a category because they're part drama, part comedy, part action, thriller. So, yeah.
Oh, you know what I also liked? I like the Wes Anderson movies. Those ones are, whatever those are, I'm really into that.
Sort of their own category, too.
And
they're comedies, though, really, at the end of the day. They're comedies. But they're, dramatic comedies.
Oh, what was that one? His more recent one.
The Hotel?
No, before that.
Grand Budapest?
No, before that, with the...
Before the Grand Budapest Hotel?
Oh, my God. It was
Moonrise Kingdom? The Boy Scouts?
No, it was the Holocaust one. Is that what it was?
Jojo Rabbit?
Jojo Rabbit.
That's not Wes Anderson.
That's not him?
No.
Who's that?
Taika Waititi.
Ah, yes. I like him too. But he's not who I was thinking of. I know Wes Anderson is not Taika Waititi. I know that.
Yeah.
But he's good too.
Yeah,
Was that?
Jojo Rabbit is sort of a really dark comedy, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got one of the darkest moments in movie history.
Again, maybe being a mom watching that, I don't know if I'd feel the same way.
Well,
I wasn't a mom.
You're the one in trouble, not the kid. Kid does fine.
I know.
You're the one.
I know.
They kill the mom, not the kid.
I know.
Yeah. I know you like Taika Waititi movies too. He doesn't have that many.
With Daniel Radcliffe, right? Did he do that with Daniel Radcliffe? It's a totally different person with it.
Swiss Army Man?
Yeah.
No, that's different people.
Oh, God.
They're the ones who did Everything Everywhere All at Once. And Swiss Army. They're the Daniels. It's two guys.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Well, last one. We covered everything. What's the horror movie? You have to pick. Horror.
Oh, it's Halloween.
The original?
Yeah.
1978.
Yeah.
Original Halloween.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
Yeah. And I'm not just saying that because of you. I mean, well, yes, I wouldn't have watched. I wouldn't be into it without you.
You're seeing horror through my lens because you wouldn't pick any if I didn't pick them. But
it is my favorite.
You've seen dozens and dozens and hundreds of horror movies. So, what about just the greatest movie of all time?
Is this a trick question?
No, everybody knows the answer to this. What's the greatest movie of all time?
Jaws.
Okay, that was grounds for divorce there without that coming out right. So I'm glad you're paying attention. That could have been tricky for you. Here's a good one. Kevin Millward. We'll do a couple more because we're coming up on an hour already, believe it or not. We're at 46 minutes. We got to keep it to an hour. That's my sweet spot. That's my sweet spot.
Plus, did Kate ask a question?
Not yet.
I was hoping she might.
But yeah, I want to get
I
want to get my Ben and Jerry's too. So I've been kind of craving it all night.
What?
Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah, ice cream.
Yeah.
So you want to get ice cream and sit on the couch?
Yes.
Okay.
This is 30. Kevin Millward, what movie do you love that your wife hates, and vice versa? So do you want to think about it, and I can go first?
Yeah.
Because I read this, so I was thinking. I mean, an easy answer is Hereditary because I put Hereditary on my top 10 of all time movies, and I know you don't.
I don't hate it though.
You don't hate it, but you do not want to sit down and watch it. Where I would watch it like once a month if I could. I would watch it like once a week because I'm just like the whole thing. I'm obsessed with it. But I'm trying to think of something that you absolutely. There's not much that you like or I like. Well, no, I have some that I absolutely hate.
That I watch?
Yeah.
What is it?
Rent.
I haven't watched that in years,
But you were like, I just can't get over.
It's a classic movie.
I can't get over how bad I thought Rent was. All these people do the whole time.
Hold on. No. Wait a minute.
What?
This was 10 years ago we tried to watch it?
No.
I'd say.
No.
No?
No. 5, maybe less.
I just thought maybe you're a changed man now. And you'd like to watch
I'm not a changed man. I still have a mortgage, and the whole movie is about people wanting to just live somewhere for free and complaining about their rent.
Hot take.
But that's the whole movie. And the whole movie, I'm saying, well, why don't you
There's a lot more to it than that. The AIDS epidemic.
Yeah, but then they're always just screaming about how unfair stuff is. But then, what about the landlord? What is
bastard man.
What is his movie? He has a movie also that needs to be a spin-off of Rent.
Called The Landlord?
Yeah, called The Landlord. And all he's doing is just trying to live his life. And he's pissed that these crazy people keep dancing around the empty apartments that he owns and won't pay him. I just found that movie to be whiny. I just found it a little whiny.
I roll.
I thought it was little...
That's fine. That's your opinion, man. That's like your opinion, man.
Yes. I just thought it was a little whiny, and I just didn't love the story. I didn't love the story. I didn't really get it. I didn't get the story. So I hated that one. I would never watch that again. The music's actually fine, but
the music's great.
The story sucks. I hate the story. I just couldn't get behind it. But I don't know that there's one that
You watch that I hate?
that you just hate, like that you're just like, I won't watch this.
Paranormal Activity, but you're not going to sit down and watch that again.
No, I would. You're right. I couldn't watch those. I really do like that. I want to watch them again, but I know I can't watch them with you. It's the only movie that's ever made you cry.
Yeah.
Like Panic Attack cry.
Panic Attack cry.
It's not the only movie that's ever made you cry. That's every other movie.
Should we share you can. What was it? It was A Star Is Born. That one had me crying in the bathtub.
La La Land.
And La La Land had me crying the
Star Is
whole
Born,
ride home.
At least A Star Is Born we watched at home.
Right.
La La Land.
In the movie theater.
Bawling.
Bawled my eyes out. The whole walk to the car, the whole car ride home, hysteric, hyperventilating. And when Dobby died in Harry Potter. And I didn't see that one coming. Because you didn't read the books. Yeah. You were the only one who didn't see it coming. I know. Everybody, we were there opening night. Everybody else in that theater read the book. Yeah, no. You were the only one who audibly screamed and sobbed when Dobby died. Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. It would be some horror movie. It would be a Paranormal Activity. It would be like Insidious. I know you don't like that with the Tiny Tim song and the little kid. So you think it's funny, but you won't watch it. I won't watch it. I know you won't touch those. So it'd be one of those. I think most guys would probably be like, oh, probably some dumb like Adam Sandler stupid. But you love that shit, so I can't. I do. There's nothing. I love the stupid comedy. Right. I could watch one. I could all day. White Chicks, The Hot Chick. Yeah. The Hot Chick. Great movie. Which are like just This is so great. Terrible, good movie. I don't know. I don't know how many ladies out there like those movies, but I'm glad you do because The Hot Chick? They crack me up. They still do. Oh, and Adam Sandler. An Adam Sandler movie, yeah. I guess he's sort of universal. Right. But yeah, there's like some I could pick out of that. I mean, you don't love some of the action movies probably. Like you think they're dumb, but you don't hate them. Like, what was that one? You're like, I'm a dad now. I have to watch this movie. Lots of them. Con Air, that one. We watched that. Oh, my God. Commando. So dumb. They're not dumb. What is this dog doing? It's getting comfortable. Oh, my God. Just don't cut the leather. Well, what would you pick? What's one you know I'll sit through it, but I'm not going to be happy the whole time? That I would want to watch? Yeah. No, I think you nailed it. Rent. I honestly can't sit through Love. You wouldn't even sit through Rent. I can't sit through Love Actually. Yeah, you do not really like that movie. I don't. What's come up, though, to your new kind of holiday favorite is The Family Stone. You like that movie? I like The Family Stone. It's nowhere near my holiday favorite. No, I'm just saying, like, that we could... It's up there. It's good. That's a good movie, but it's no Jingle All the Way. That is a great movie. Jingle All the Way is the greatest Christmas movie of all time. Christmas Vacation. Is a close number 2, but Jingle All the Way is number 1 for me. Jingle All the Way is it. That is Christmas for me. That's what I watched. That was in peak Christmas years for me. That movie came out and I watched it a million times. That's Christmas for me. It's Jingle All the Way and Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's Christmas. Yeah. And a young Anakin Skywalker. And Phil Hartman. That is something that we do. We watch SNL together. We do. And sometimes hate watch. Oh my God. We've started watching it. We've been together for 13 years, we said. So we started watching it like 13 years ago when it was Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph and all the good people on it. Bill Hader. Jason Sudeikis. Yeah. That's a big thing for us. But every decade people say that. I know. 10 years from now, people are going to be like, do you remember when they had Mikey Day and Pete Davidson and Beck Bennett? Yeah. Some of the stuff is really funny, but some of it's just a big miss. It gets too... And I'm so sick of the political cold opens. I'm tired of it. I just don't... Give me something else. I just don't care enough. I don't want to listen to either side bitch and moan about... It's never funny. It's just not funny. Thing. It's never funny, so I just... But the last episode with Keke Palmer was great. Keke Palmer's great. She's great. It's all about the host. I've liked her since Aquila and the Bee. If you know, you know. Jeff doesn't know. I don't know. I haven't seen that movie. Yeah. It's about a spelling bee? Yes, it is. I like Bad Words with Jason Bateman. That's a better spelling bee. That's a good movie. That's a way better spelling bee. That's a good movie, too. All right. Is that it for questions? You said you wanted to ask me some questions. What? Yeah, I was going to ask. You wanted to chat with me. People had so many good questions. I had a couple, spin-off questions for you, but... You got anything left? I mean...
I guess, like, when are you going to let my kids watch horror movies with me? This is a big conversation that you have to have.
Next question.
No, this is a big conversation that you have to have as parents.
I've told you. I'm okay with, I think 10 for Jaws.
Oh my God.
And it's got to be the TV version.
10 years old?
Yeah.
You're out of your mind.
You're out of your mind if you think. Also, it depends on the kid. You can't just give a number to it.
I get
it
that.
Absolutely depends on the kid.
It depends on how emotionally mature they are.
Exactly. So I can't answer that question.
Terrify them or not.
I can't answer that question because I don't know.
But what's your target age?
10.
Say this is an emotionally, this kid grows up and he's fine because he has excellent parents and he's very well adjusted and he understands a movie is not real. And we're like,
that's a hard concept for kids.
But I'm saying, say he's at that point, whatever age it may be. What's the age he's watching Jaws?
Whatever age he may be.
But what's your target for that?
10.
That's so crazy. First of all, movie's rated PG, so parental guidance.
Maybe 8. I don't want him to be afraid of the water.
I watched that movie.
And spent your summers on the Cape. I know.
On the Cape.
I know.
At 5 years old on VHS. And then went to the beach right afterward. Literally.
That you can't go to now because there are sharks in the
water.
Now
there are sharks in the water. But when I was a kid, there weren't a bunch of sharks in the water. It didn't scare me.
Like I said, it depends on the kid.
It didn't scare me, but I will say I'm more afraid now than I was then.
Right.
Only because it's real. Because there actually
are sharks.
Sharks that actually have killed people on the Cape now, which was never a thing in the 90s and even early 2000s. That was never even a question that there'd be a shark out there. But it did, as a kid, like I definitely made sure like my legs were up on the couch so that they weren't dangling off because like the carpet shark could come by and eat. I don't know.
Or how about I would just like shut my lid off and jump into my bed because I was afraid I was going to get snatched by like a boogeyman that lived under my bed.
I'll tell you what, by the age of 10, I had already seen Jaws a million times. I had seen Jurassic Park, which also can be a pretty intense movie for kids with the velociraptors and the T-Rex. I had seen that a million times.
It depends on the child.
I had seen the TV cut of Halloween.
That's great. I'm saying it depends on the child and you as a parent. It's your job to know.
Miss Prendable's here. Here comes the teacher out.
It's hard to know unless it's your own child and you need to know when it's developmentally appropriate for them to watch this movie.
So what if he's what if he's 6 years old and I'm like, this kid can watch Jaws? Are you going to be like, no, that's too young? Just on principle that it's too young?
Let's just cross that bridge when we get to it.
He's going to watch it when he's 3. I'm just going to put it on and I'm going to say, look at the big fish. Look at the big fishy. It's going to eat that little boy.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look at Chief Brody. We'll figure it out.
Well,
I did want to ask that. I also want to ask, what do you want to do with this room when it's not just the two of us watching movies? Are we going to transform this room?
I don't know what we're going to do.
Right now, this room is very set up
for 2 people.
For 2 people watching movies, and it is not baby proof. It doesn't need to be baby proof. They'll be older, but like, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna shift all this, you think?
I told you what we're gonna do. We got to make it so that you put a screen on this wall and you got 2 rows of seats here and you got to kind of change it all up, rotate things. And
so you want to put a screen on the wall where all of my movies are right now. So
correct.
Then where do all the movies go?
On that wall where the TV is.
Okay. I could see that.
So, and then you come down and you got a bar behind your chairs, a bar that you can stand at, sit at.
Why didn't we just do that now?
Because I don't know, man. It's your space.
This is a great idea. I'm going to have to film another room video because I'm about to tear this room apart.
5-year plan.
Because then actually...
5-year plan.
Well, that's smart because then I'd have 2...
walls to put stuff on.
2 walls to put stuff on and only one with the TV instead of one where I need chairs on it and one where I need the TV on it. The chairs would just sit in the middle of the room. Folks.
That's why I'm here.
Folks, this is why you have to have a wife. Because I don't know. Where was this 3 months ago when I was setting this up? Because
it's your room.
I could have already got a second pair. This is such a much better idea than what I did. I've already wired the whole room for that setup. We should have done it the other way. Oh no, I'm really shaking up right now because that would be so much better. And I could have got a bigger TV.
Look what I've done. No.
I could have fit a 78-inch TV there, 77.
No.
Yeah. Oh boy. So 120-inch projector instead.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
See, it's not all peaches and cream. Sometimes this is the battle. But you know what? It works. It does. Well, we're at an hour. And that is all the time I'll allow for you on this channel.
Do you know that it's taken years for me to get to this point?
Yeah,
I'll just let you guys know.
I've been doing this for 5 years and you've never even appeared in a video.
And I've never been able to talk about it or speak about it to any of my friends or any of his friends.
That's not true.
Well, I mean, I can't post about it on social media. That's what I'll say. I'm not allowed to post about it.
My point was...
You want to grow your followers organically. I know the point.
Right. I didn't
And you did. Now you have 100,000 followers.
And I said once I hit 100,000, you can tell people. But I didn't want, especially in the early days of, I'm like at 100 followers, 200 followers, 1,000. I didn't want to go from 1,000 to 1,500 because you told a bunch of people they click the subscribe button once and they're never going to watch anything.
I know. I hear you.
But no, I mean, now it's to a point. I mean, people are saying I'm a YouTube celebrity on the Instagram. So I guess we have to tell people. But I don't know.
Any last minute questions? That's it.
No, that was pretty much it. Unless you want to answer what the best TV brand to buy is. Do you know? Some of these questions definitely were for me and like weren't for you. But do you know what's the best brand of TV?
It starts with a V.
Starts with a V.
I don't know. Whatever you have over there.
Doesn't start with a V.
I have no idea. Sony.
I like Sony.
If you can afford it, if you can afford to spend like the money.
And what kind of TV?
It has to be a 4K TV.
Well, yes, but like, what's the
OLED?
Hey, see?
You know, because it's not a plasma. You can't get the plasmas anymore.
You can't buy plasmas anymore.
My dad's obsessed with plasma TVs.
So that's the next best thing is the OLED TV right now. So look at you, pay attention. You do care.
Except for you get very upset when I call things DVDs that are Blu-rays, and yes,
I'm over that, but it is.
And I call your Xbox a PlayStation, your PlayStation an Xbox.
It's a little
disheartening that I don't care.
You sound like a 70-year-old when you come downstairs and ask me if I'm playing Nintendo and watching my DVDs. You sound like a 75-year-old.
Never said Nintendo.
Who like didn't grow up with this stuff.
I didn't.
You had a PlayStation.
I mean, yeah, sure. I had a PlayStation. I played the Simpsons.
It's okay. We're learning. We're all learning together in this world.
Always learning.
All right.
Lifelong learner.
Well, it's time to get that Ben and Jerry's, and I don't know.
What are we gonna watch?
We don't have time to watch a movie. It's too late right now. But
Curb.
We'll probably watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is mutual
enjoyment.
Top 3 shows with The Office and Always Sunny. So we're gonna do that. Ben and Jerry's and Curb Your Enthusiasm. Pretty good. Good. I'll catch you guys on the other side. I don't see. This is why you're not allowed in the videos, because I'm just trying to do a nice formal.
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to do a nice outro, and you're laughing because.
Can I do the outro?
You can do it. Go ahead.
All right, guys. So thanks for listening. Make sure that you subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. Click
or watch.
I was gonna get there.
Okay.
Right. Sir. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you smash that subscribe button. All the links are down below for my channels on all different platforms. Find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn. Actually, is your channel on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I do have one.
LinkedIn. What else? That's it. Stay healthy, guys. Make sure
you're gonna mock the stay healthy.
Spay and neuter your cats or something.
Oh my God, that's Bob Barker. That's Price is Right.
I know.
Okay. Well, you heard it here first, folks. Do everything she just said to do, and I will talk to you in the next video, which will not be as chaotic. Thanks.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Coming soon. Be sure to subscribe to the Films at Home podcast using your favorite app so you don't miss another episode. And while you're there, don't forget to rate and review this podcast, which helps us out tremendously. You can also help support us by watching our short-form content over on YouTube and TikTok by searching Films at Home. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at films_at_home. The intro and outro were created by Elin Osborne. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.